What if I told you that one of the biggest reasons hearing aids still aren't routinely covered by insurance has nothing to do with today's science and everything to do with an outdated belief from decades ago? Hi, I'm Chuck Smith, owner of Affordable Hearing with locations in Rochester, Logansport, and Lafayette, Indiana. If you've been following this series, you already know that Medicare excluded hearing aids back in 1965. But here's the question we need to answer next. Why? The answer comes down to how people viewed hearing aids back then. For decades, hearing loss was treated almost like getting wrinkles or needing reading glasses. People thought, well, you're getting older, that's just what happens. In other words, hearing loss wasn't viewed as something that needed treatment. It was viewed as something people simply had to accept. Today, we know that couldn't be further from the truth. Think about this for just a minute. How many conversations have you missed because someone spoke from another room? How many family dinners have you smiled and nodded because you couldn't quite make out what was being said? How many times have you turned the TV up only to have someone else ask you to turn it back down? Or maybe you have stopped going to restaurants because they're just too noisy. Maybe you've quit attending church because you can't understand the sermon anymore. Maybe you avoid answering the phone because voices sound muffled. Those aren't just inconveniences. Those are changes that affect your daily life. Today, researchers know untreated hearing loss can contribute to social isolation. It can increase listening fatigue. It can affect relationships. Researchers have also found associations between untreated hearing loss and a greater risk of falls and cognitive decline, although scientists are still studying exactly how those relationships work. The important point is this: modern healthcare professionals don't view hearing loss the way people did 60 years ago. Today, hearing loss is recognized as something that affects communication, independence, safety, emotional well-being, and overall quality of life. But here's the problem. Insurance policies don't always evolve as quickly as medical research. Many of today's policies were built on ideas that existed decades ago. Changing those policies takes years, sometimes decades. That's why many hearing professionals believe insurance coverage hasn't quite caught up with what we now know about hearing health. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about another piece of this puzzle, because even if insurance companies agreed hearing aids are important, there's another challenge they have to consider. And whether you like it or not, it comes down to money. Before you go, let me ask you this. Have you ever caught yourself avoiding a conversation because it was too hard to hear? I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. And don't miss part 4, because we're going to talk about the financial side of this that almost nobody explains.